In this video, we're going to continue our discussion with applications of linear equations in two variables. So, Sally receives an inheritance of $88,000. She invests part of the money in a CD that earns 7% simple interest, and the rest of the money in a money market account that earns 7.5% simple interest. If she earned $6,430 in interest in 1 year, how much did she invest in each account? Well, there's two things that we do not know right now. Money invested in the CD and money invested in the money market account. So I'm going to use C to represent money invested in the CD. And I'm going to use M for money invested in the money market account. Okay, so for the principal for the CD, we'll use C. Okay, the rate, if we go back, is 7%. So as a decimal, that's 0.07. The time is 1 year. So multiply, that is 0.07C. For the money market account, the principal, that's M. The interest is 7.5%. So as a decimal, that's this. Time is 1. Multiply. We get this. So, where are my two equations coming from? Well, one column is from the principal, so I can take C plus M, and the total amount of money Sally invested is $88,000. And the other one is the interest. So I take the interest from the CD plus the interest from the money market account, and then I set it equal to the total interest. Now, I am going to solve this system of equations by using substitution. So I'm going to solve the top equation for C. So I'm going to subtract the M. And now I'm going to replace this C in the second equation for this expression here. So I'm going to distribute. Combine like terms. Subtract the 6160. And then divide by the decimal. And we get M equal to 55,000. I'm going to plug that into the top equation. Subtract the 55,000. And we get C is equal to 33,000. Now, I need to plug these two values into the bottom equation to make sure that is a solution to this equation also. Showing the work here, we can tell that that works. So let's write a sentence to summarize now. So Sally invested $55,000 in the money market account and $33,000 in the CD. Okay, let's take a look at the next example then. So a plane flies 1,200 miles from New York to Orlando in 2 hours with the help of the wind. The return flight against the same wind takes 2.5 hours. Calculate the speed of the plane in still air and the speed of the wind. So I'm going to have S represent the speed of the plane in still air, and W be the speed of the wind. Now, remember, distance is equal to rate times time. Okay, I'm going to fill in the times and the distances first. So with the wind, 2 hours, distance 1,200. Against the wind, that is 2.5 and 1,200. Now, let's talk about the rates for each. Let's start with the wind. If the airplane is going in the same direction as the wind, the plane will go faster. So for instance, if the speed of the plane is 100 miles an hour, with a wind going in the same direction of 20 miles per hour, I would take that 100 plus 20, and the plane would really be going 120 miles per hour. So with the wind, I will take the S plus W. Now, if you're going against the wind, you would expect the plane to be slower. So for instance, if the plane is going 100 miles an hour in one direction, and you have the wind going in the exact opposite direction of the plane at 20 miles per hour, the plane would really be going 100 minus 20, which would be 80 miles per hour. So, in general, with against the wind, I will write S minus W. Okay, so my two equations then is going to be 2 times S plus W, remember rate times time, equals distance, which is 1,200. And 2.5 times S minus W is equal to 1,200. Okay, so I'm going to distribute the 2 and the 2.5. Now, for the top equation, I'm going to divide every single term by 2 to make my numbers smaller. So now it'll be S plus W is equal to 600. And for the bottom equation, I'm going to divide every single term by 2 and 5/10. Well, that gives me S minus W is equal to 480. Now, do you see all I have to do is add the equations, and when I do that, the W's will subtract out. So you have 2S is equal to 1080. Divide by 2, S is 540. Now, I'm going to go back to these original equations and try to calculate W. So if I go to the top equation, that's 540 plus W is equal to 600. Subtract 540, W is equal to 60. Now, you can check the bottom very quickly. 540 minus 60 is equal to 480. So now let's write a sentence to summarize what we just determined here. So the speed of the airplane in still air is 540 miles per hour, and the speed of the wind is 60 miles per hour.